My name is Cara Crisler, and my vision is that people everywhere in all different kinds of settings, whether it's in the home, in public, at the workplace, that they're experiencing a mutual respect and understanding and trust and connection with others. I believe that we don't leave our humanity behind when we walk out our front door, and we have a certain amount of longings all the time. And a lot of us aren't having those met on a daily basis, like being seen for our contributions, being recognized, appreciated. And I really am setting out to pass on skills to others to know how to better connect so that all of these set of universal needs can be met. I do that via coaching individuals. I also work with couples in bringing reconnection back into the relationship. And also I give trainings in organizations. I call it conscious communication training. My in-company conscious communication trainings are about bringing this sense of connection into the workplace. Why I think that's so important is because people, no matter where they are, want to, I believe, be seen, be heard, be understood. This is really important in the workplace because when we have the sense that we matter and that our ideas matter and that we can express our ideas and that there's space for that, then it's very self-motivating. It can really boost morale, collaboration, cooperation. It can very much help the team move forward. What I find is that it brings a space also for new creativity and really finding solutions that work for everyone. And when they don't work for everyone, then communication continues and new solutions are found. So it brings about a sense of hope and actually efficiency and productivity, which is very much the bottom line for all organizations. So, yeah, where does my passion for connection come from? I know that it goes way back. When I was a child, I had plenty of friends, although throughout my youth, I didn't really feel like I fit in. I just knew that there was probably something different for me, something else out there. So when then I started to work, I realized I often wanted to express myself and I didn't dare. There were things that I wanted to come up for myself about and didn't really feel the safety. I think I feared losing my job. It was really about being productive and efficient, so much that I just kind of lost myself even sometimes. And then I became a parent, and it was becoming really evident to me, I so want connection with my children and I'm not always managing it. How can I be the parent I want to be? So having a lot of questions about that. And then I moved to the Netherlands, and then it became so obvious to me, I'm not connecting with the people around me. Something is missing in my life. I want new skills. I want to know what is it I can do to really engage more in life and with people. So I set out to learn these skills. I fortunately found it in a model called nonviolent communication, developed by Marshall Rosenberg. And I'm now like a changed person. I'm very empowered to know what's going on inside me, know what I want, know what I need, and able to take steps to go for that. And for me, one of the daily things that I'm striving for is connection. And so now I'm trying to bring that into the world and pass these skills on to other people. Next to coaching individuals and working with couples in reconnecting, I very much enjoy giving in-company conscious communication trainings. I call it that because it's very much about bringing an awareness, a new awareness into the workplace about how team members can work together, and really through improved communication. The skills I want to teach have to do with listening to each other in a different way, here, so that everyone is being heard. There's space and safety for expression. This is incredibly good for boosting morale and also a sense of taking self-responsibility, really coming into each team member's full potential. And along the way, there's increased collaboration, cooperation. With this new flow of communication, there's much more space for creativity, for finding appropriate solution strategies that work for everyone involved. So with this flow of communication, even when things don't go so well, then the communication continues so that new solutions are found. And this is very much increasing effectiveness and productivity for the team. So to help ground this and make it a bit more concrete, I want to give an example. So let's say that you're at work and you're walking down the hall and your coworker stops you and basically expresses a lot of frustration, irritation, because the project you're working on together is not making anywhere near enough progress and something needs to be done. So I like to use an exercise, I call it a clarity exercise, to kind of help break down what's going on and also even what your options are at this point. What's likely to be happening first and foremost is that you're left with a thought. And this thought is likely something like, or it could be something like, he's blaming me for everything. And when you believe this thought, you probably have a high sense of a feeling of defensiveness, like really wanting to come up for yourself. So this thought, he's blaming me, leads you to want to say, hey, this is the work I've done. Haven't you noticed? Or, really maybe even putting the blame elsewhere. Maybe somebody else on the team you decide should be getting this conversation and not you. So our thoughts can really lead us into disconnection, into not necessarily getting to the core of what's going on. So what this exercise can help do is kind of isolate the thought. Let's just put it there for what it is. Move away from the strategy and move back into what other feelings are going on. Let's say that, there's a feeling of defensiveness. But maybe if you dig a little deeper, you give yourself some time and space, that there's also something you realize, well, I'm worried, I'm concerned about what's actually going on between us. I'm worried about our working relationship. I care about this project. I really want it to go further. I don't want this conflict to escalate. And so from that place, you can kind of sit with what's really going on and move a little deeper into what is it that you really need and want. And I can imagine for me, if I were in this situation, I would, probably want recognition and a sense of shared responsibility, for sure. But I also would want a better understanding, some clarity. Like, what did he actually mean? What can we do with this? And that leads me then to my next steps. And I want to come back around to that in my 3 tips. Using the scenario that I just described, I'd like to now give you 3 tips that you can use to stay connected with someone in a challenging situation. So in remembering the scenario, you're there in the hallway, somebody has expressed a lot of frustration to you and then basically walked off. You're standing there, what can you do? You've got some options, but you're probably not very aware of them. I would like to introduce a new option, and it is simply this. A mantra that you can say to yourself, this is not about me. This is not about me. It's about him. So the other options are the ones that you've, I'm sure, experienced many times. One is to feel defensive, as I said in the scenario. And the other one is to actually take the blame, to say, yeah, he's right. I really should have done more. I should have done better. So you don't only have those two options. You can actually say, this is not about me. It doesn't mean you're not willing to take some responsibility, but that's actually the next tip. So tip number 2 is to find some space for yourself and get inner clarity. So I covered that actually already. What I know would be, for me, the case is I might be really frustrated and upset at first. Like, what is this? I just got dumped on? Maybe feel defensive. But if I were to really take some space for myself, I would probably find out, oh, I'm so concerned. I really care about this project and I care about our relationship. I want to know what else was going on. So I have this, and now I'm getting in touch with like a need. It's a need to not only contribute, maybe also to be recognized for the work I've had, but more importantly, at that moment, I need clarity and I want understanding. So this blends in nicely with my third tip in this case, because the third tip, no matter what my needs might be, it's to stay grounded in what I know about myself, what's important for me, and it's to get curious about the other. To not let it be about me, let it be about the speaker, in this case, my coworker. So I know he's frustrated, I know he's irritated, and I'm telling myself, it's not about me, there's something really important for him going on. So my very next step that I can take is to go to him and say something like, hey, you know, I noticed you were just really frustrated in the hall. That much I get. I'm guessing maybe you really are worried about meeting the deadline, and can you maybe tell me more about what's going on for you there? And so it opens up the communication. The flow is back. He's now able to talk about himself. You're showing interest. You're showing that you understand something or that you want to understand. And, you know, maybe he says, yeah, I really want this promotion, and if we don't meet this deadline, I might not get it. And so then the burden is no longer on you. Together, you can brainstorm what your next steps are. Maybe you need more support. Maybe a meeting needs to be held. There's so many different things that can happen next, but you've managed to stay in connection in a very challenging situation. If you'd like to take your organization or even your team to the next level, then I would love to speak with you about my conscious communication trainings. Please contact me today